recently, the governing body leaders, they shot themselves in the foot by bringing on this new light when they said that, oh, who are we to judge? Who are we to be dogmatic? Who are we to say who's going to make it and who's not going to make it? And now they say that anyone can see the signs at the very last minute. Anyone can see the signs when the Great Tribulation starts, and they could jump on board and become a witness and make it to the paradise. Because they said that God wants everyone to make it. And then they started talking about even the fellowship people that are the fellowship can even make it. Now, we all know that for the longest time, pretty much forever, they've been saying that when the Great Tribulation starts, people who are at the fellowship, they have no chance. They have no opportunity to make it to the new world. Their ass was dead. Growing up as a witness, that's all I heard was, oh, if you're the fellowship, if anyone's the fellowship, by the time the Great Tribulation starts, by the time Armageddon starts, there is no hope for you. You're done. You're gone forever. And all of a sudden, now it's a whole different tune. Oh, people with the fellowship, they can make it now. Oh, sinners, people who never heard about Jehovah, people who are murderers, rapers, robbers, people committing serious sins, they can see the signs of the Great Tribulation. They can jump on board because Jehovah, he wants everyone to make it. So if you are Jehovah's Witness watching this, if you're on the fence, if you're having doubts, if you're having questions, I want you to dwell on this. Dwell on this. The governing body leader said that, oh, even the fellowship, people who are the fellowship, they have an opportunity to make it to the new world. Which means that we're all going to be united in the new world, right? The fellowship, people who are the fellowship, sinners who want to join the bandwagon at the last minute, pretty much anyone and everyone could just join at the last minute, right? And we're all going to be united in paradise, right? Now, I don't believe in paradise. I'm speaking from a Jehovah's Witness perspective. Me personally, I don't believe paradise is ever going to happen. It's just a pipe dream, you know? But anywho, the governing body leader said that anyone can make it into the so-called paradise earth, right? The fellowship people who are the fellowship, people who never heard of Jehovah, people who just see the signs that this is the Great Tribulation. Oh, this is the Great Tribulation? Okay, I want to be saved. I want to be a witness. So they said this, right? And I'm saying to myself, hold on. If they're saying that people who are at this fellowship, people who left the organization, anyone can make it, right? If they're saying that we're all going to be united, I said to myself, then what is the point of people being the fellowship right here, right now? If we're all going to be united in the new world, people who are the fellowship and active ones, anyone and everyone, if we're all going to be united in the new world, doesn't that defeat the purpose of people being the fellowship right here and right now? Why are we divided right now in 2024? Why is the fellowshipping a thing? Why are people being shunned, ostracized? Why are we so divided right here and right now? If anyone can make it at the last minute, if inactive ones can make it, if the fellowship ones can make it, if so-called sinners can make it at the very last minute, and if we're all going to be united in paradise earth, then why are we divided right now? That makes no sense. You see, they shot themselves in the foot by bringing on this new light. Oh, anyone can make it. They could see the signs, or they shot themselves in the foot. Because we was always told that if you was the fellowship or inactive and the Great Tribulation started, there's no coming back. And now they're saying something completely different. And it contradicts what they said then and what they say now contradicts each other. Because they're saying anyone, the fellowship, people, especially people that are the fellowship and inactive, they say anyone can make it at the last minute. All you have to do is see the signs and, want to be a witness. Excuse me, want to be a witness again. That's all you have to do. And I say to myself, so you're saying that we're all going to be united If someone has the desire to be a witness again at the last minute, the people that the fellowship, people that are inactive, if they have the desire to be a witness at the last minute, and we're all going to be together in paradise earth, playing with pandas, riding elephants, eating grapes all day, or we're all going to be united in paradise, shouldn't we be united right now? Like the fellowshipping term, that process should not be a thing. If it's not going to matter later on, according to the governing body leaders, right? If it's not going to matter later on, because they said people that are the fellowship, people that are inactive, could all make it. We're all going to be together in paradise. If it's not going to be a thing in the future, then why is it a thing right now? You see, this is what happens when you start to use your critical thinking skills. Because as a witness, I didn't do that. Just like most of us, we turn our brains off. We just listen and obey. That's all we did, was listen and obey. But we didn't think. But when you start to think, you're able to connect the dots, and you see the flaws in the organization. You see the flaws in their doctrines. Because, like I said, being the fellowship, that whole term, shunning, people being ostracized, people being the fellowship, that should not be a thing. If people can wait to the very last minute, if anyone could make it at the very last minute, inactive ones, people that are the fellowship, if they could make it at the very last minute, and we could all be united in a so-called future, shouldn't we be united right here and right now? Shouldn't it start right now? Because they're pretty much saying inactive ones and the fellowship, being the fellowship, it's gonna be irrelevant. It's not gonna mean nothing. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter if you're the fellowship or not. You can still make it. They're saying it, right? Then it shouldn't matter now. It shouldn't matter now. The governing body leaders, they just debunked their entire shunning policy by saying it, by coming up with the new light. If it's not going to matter in the so-called near future, it should not matter now. This is what Jehovah's Witnesses, like I said, they got to start thinking, because they're the robots. They're listening and obeying, and they are wasting their precious life away to this man-made organization. Their leaders are constantly putting them down this rabbit hole with these flip-flops, this new light, new doctrine, and I could debunk all of their new light. My go-to scripture, Malachi 3:6, that debunks everything. Malachi 3:6 says, I am God, I do not change. If God says something 100 years from now, it's still relevant to this present day. He doesn't change. So all those reporting hours, all this new light about anyone can make it. Back then you couldn't. You have to be a devout, baptized publisher. Now you could be inactive. Now you could be the fellowship. Now you could be a serious sinner. Anyone can make it now. Malachi 3:6. God, I am God. I do not change. I do not change. And this is why it's important for Jehovah's Witnesses to start asking questions. Now, just about every job that I've ever worked in, I had employers, managers, supervisors. They always said to me, ask as many questions as you want, as you need to. I don't care if it's dumb. I don't care if you're confused. I don't care if you're lost. I'd rather for you to ask me questions than you make a mistake at the job. And some of these mistakes could cost you your life, especially if you're working with machinery, right? But majority of jobs I ever worked at, they always said, ask as many questions. I don't care if it's dumb. I don't care if it's stupid, right? Just ask. I don't want you to make any mistakes. I want you to know what you're doing. I want you to be, I want you to have confidence in what you're doing. So ask as many questions, right? And when I woke up from this cult, when I woke up from the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, I said, hold on. I just noticed that out in the world, they're encouraging me to ask questions. Because they don't want me to be confused. They don't want me to be lost. So they're telling me, ask questions. We don't care how silly it sounds. Ask. But in the so-called truth, quote unquote, the truth, once you're a baptized publisher, you gotta stop asking. You can't ask questions. Those questions gotta cease to exist. You just gotta blindly obey and follow. And what happens when you start asking too many questions as a witness? People looking at you funny. You can't run to an elder. Hey, elder, the brother who gave a talk on the platform, what he said doesn't make sense. The governing body leaders on the broadcast, what they're saying doesn't quite add up. I don't quite comprehend what they're saying. It doesn't make sense in my head. I want to believe it, but I can't. I just got like a off feeling. I don't know. I don't feel right. I don't feel like what they're saying is the truth. You can't say that as a witness, because the elders will be quick to take you in the back room and punish you. You're just supposed to follow blindly. You're supposed to just believe and have faith that what these men, that these men are telling you the truth. But when you clearly listen to their doctrines, right? You see it for what it is. You connect the dots. 1 minute they say this, the next minute they say that. And like I said, when I heard the new light doctrine, the new light about, anyone can make it at the last minute. Who are we to judge? We shouldn't be dogmatic. God wants everyone to make it, including people that the fellowship, including inactive ones. All you have to do is see the signs. That should have been an automatic red flag to any witness. How? Just like that, they can erase 100 years of their beliefs. Because we all know it was a complete opposite back in the day. You had to be a baptized, devout witness to even have a possibility, to even have a shot making it to the new world. And now the fellowship, people that the fellowship can make it. And any witness that's on the fence, that's having doubts, that's having questions, ask yourself this question. If people that are inactive and people that are the fellowship, if they can make it at the very last minute, then what is the point of shunning people right now? What is the point of people being the fellowship if they can make it at the last minute and everyone's going to be united, right? Everyone's going to be in paradise. According to the governing body leaders, they said that the active witnesses, inactive witnesses, hardcore sinners, people who commit serious crimes, and people without the fellowship. If all those people can be united in one in paradise, why can't we all be united in one now? Why is there so much divisions? Why are inactive ones frowned upon? Why are people with the fellowship, why are they being shunned? Why are they being shunned now if it's not going to matter in the so-called near future? You see, when you connect the dots, when you look at their doctrines and you see that this doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Like I said, people that are the fellowship, people that are shunned, that shouldn't be a thing right now. If it's not going to matter in the future, it shouldn't matter now. It shouldn't matter right now. And I just want witnesses to use your critical thinking skills, because a lot of witnesses, and I can say this because I'm out, but a lot of witnesses know deep down inside, they know that paradise should have been here already. They would never say it out loud. They would continue to lie to themselves. Oh God, he's just waiting. He's just giving more time for right people to come in, for people to have the right heart condition. He just prolonging it for other people to join. You can lie to yourself all you want. But we all know, especially the born in witnesses that are 30 plus years old, the people who remember the My Book of Bible Stories, who grew up in that era, my era, the 80s and 90s, we all know paradise should have been here. If you were born in witness and you're over the age of 30, you know damn well paradise should have been here. So you already wasted 30 years believing in this nonsense. You ready to waste 30 plus more years? Keep telling yourself that it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. You could tell yourself that all you want. All you want. You could tell yourself that all you want. But what's going to happen when another 30 plus years pass? Remember, time is the one thing we can never get back. Time is precious. It's precious. And I encourage people, I encourage everyone, witnesses that's having doubts, witnesses that's having questions, indulge in those questions. The book of Thessalonians encourages people to ask questions, to make sure that the information that you're learning, to make sure that it's accurate. Your own governing body leader, David Splain, said, check the facts. He says apostates don't know what we're talking about. Oh, but the governing bodies do. They know what they're talking about. Now, as a witness, how can you verify that? How can you check the facts just by looking at jw.org? You can't check the facts for one site. You can't just take their word, because guess what? How would you know if your leaders are lying to you? They've been telling you the end is right around the corner for how long? How long? How long? You're going to keep trusting them? You're going to keep giving them your time, your attention, your money? You're going to keep devoting your entire life to this organization? Now, like I said, a lot of people are starting to wake up. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, they have doubts. The problem is, and this is what I did when I was in the organization, I had doubts, but I put them to the back of my head. But when something doesn't make sense, just like I said with these doctrines, their new doctrines doesn't make sense, because it contradicts everything that they said in the past. Malachi 3:6, I am God, I do not change. If God doesn't change, then guess what? There should be no new light. There should be no new doctrines, because God doesn't change. He stays the same. If you're having doubts, it's time to find the real answers. It's time to find the real answers, because life, like I said, life is precious. Time is short. You already wasted a lot of time in this organization, right? If you're watching this video as a witness, there's a reason why you're watching this video. It's because you know that deep down inside, something does not feel right. Something doesn't feel right. So I encourage you, indulge in that feeling. You're allowed to get the answers that you need. Your governing body leader said that, check the facts. You can't check the facts from one source. You can't check the facts just by listening to the governing body leaders, because if they are lying to you, if they are con artists, right? If they're wasting your time, how would you know if you're only listening to them? How would you know that? Be open-minded. As witnesses, we were encouraged to not think critically. We were encouraged to not be open-minded. We were encouraged to only listen to the governing body leaders. And yet here they are flip-flopping with new lights. That stuff that doesn't make sense. Telling you, oh, it's right around the corner. Jehovah's Day is near. We have born-in witnesses that are now in their 60s and 70s. Their life is pretty much over, because they devoted their entire life to this religion with so many lies, so many flip-flops. They keep telling the people it's right around the corner, right around the corner, right around the corner. And before you know it, you're in the ground. Your life flashes like this. Life goes by quick. So if you have questions, it is time for you to get the answers you need. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.